Tim Coleman and Dylan Matthews out there, but we believe they do not have a transponder, so we'll have to get back to you with a time there. Of course, Tim Coleman been around the sport for a number of years, and a engine builder out of a Coleman Marine out of Martin. Dylan Matthews, the engineer from Wanganui, the Violent Tendencies machine, the Downs Group, and New Zealand Revajet on board sponsoring them. Their next boat out will be Super Mario. Shane, actually. Luigi is out on track. Hannah Berry doing the navigational duties here. So Glasgow Engineering and Design, Coleman Marina Performance, Fordell Garage and Stevo's Distributors. So Shane Travers out there from Wanganui, the apprentice engineer. He competed with his father and comes into this season taking over the steering, well not taking over, sharing the steering duties with Dad, Ross Travers. So Shane Travers has been around the sport for a number of years now as a navigator. And old Super Mario, the old man, said, mate, why don't you just take some steering wheel time? And Shane and Hannah now out on track in the radioactive machine. Hannah Berry, the shepherd from Tahitiwa, or close to Wanganui, somewhere around Fordell, I would suggest. So radioactive across the line with Shane Travers with a 60.180, 60.180. Uncle Tony Reid now in the Drillco machine coming out. Andrew Bakey doing the navigational duties. He's the concreter from Waitra. The boat name still at it. Uncle Tony, well, retired from the sport about 15 years ago, decided to get back in it when he saw that his nephews in Jason Reid and indeed Daniel Reid got into the form of jet sprinting. Uncle Tony said, oh, I can't leave it to the younger generation. So he's got out there today with his walking stick. Oh, he's not quite that old, but anyway, never let the truth get in the way of a good story. So Uncle Tony Reid out there, boat 303. If you're ever around the Waitra region and you need a bit of engineering work, go and have a chat to Uncle Tony. Well supported by Shifty Sports Bar and TAB, Waitra Super Liquor, Petersol Transport, Egmont Industrial Supplies. This pair had a huge crash in Wanganui at the last meeting, and a lot of people, there was a lot of scuttlebutt because after these guys had a crash, both of their helmets came off. Uncle Tony will get back to you with a time on that. So these guys turned turtle. Now, if you're watching on the live stream around the world, let's stop the scuttlebutt. I will tell you what happened to Uncle Tony and to Bakey when they went upside down in the water with brand new helmets on. The force of the water forcing up through the seats, up their back of their neck, punched both their helmets out the top. So it wasn't that the helmets weren't done up. They both suffered severe bruising underneath their chins. So everything was done absolutely 100% to the book. It was the force of the water that actually snapped the straps on brand new helmets. So of course helmets are designed to take frontal side impact. What they are not designed to do is to have about 200 or more, probably 2,000 PSI shoot up the back of the driver and navigator's neck and force the straps off. So that has been completely investigated and we have sorted that issue out. It is Phil Dick and Hayden Digby Smith out on track at the moment. So Phil Dick in the Jet Design Co machine had nearly took the win of the crash of the round last time at Wanganui. That went to Uncle Tony, and Phil Dick across the line there with a 59.049, so he'll be pretty happy with that indeed. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, a Black Ford Ranger, HS 405, HS 405 is the rego. You might want to move it. It's about to get towed. It is in the way. So, Black Ford Ranger, HS 405, get that moved. Otherwise, we are going to have an excavator or a digger come in and move that over to the back of the pit facility and sort of push it somewhere towards the Waikato. So Dean Riddick, New Plymouth, and Aaron Riddick out there, and this is Merit RV, the Taranaki Terra, brand new livery, brand new package here, Merit RV up there into the New Plymouth region of the Naki. Go and have a chat to those guys up there. They'll sort you out for all of your RV requirements. Of course, recreational vehicles from campers and motorhomes, all those sorts of things. They will sort you out. So the Riddick boys across the line there with a 54.445. Aaron Riddick got married last weekend, so congratulations to him. He's now got into the 3 rings of marriage, of course. To start with is the engagement ring, then comes the wedding ring. He's already done that, and now he's into the suffer ring. So the Taranaki Terra, we'll talk more about that next time it's out as we go to Clayton and Mandy Tisdall from Tapanui on the South Island. The digger driver is Clayton, Mandy is the teacher. The Jet Speed Get Insider, Brian Kelly power plant out on track, and these guys took a New Zealand National Championship in the Group B category, stepped up into the Group A category after nearly getting lost to the sport a few years ago after some, well, they got pretty well ripped off by some dodgy individuals down on the South Island. They nearly stepped away from it. Great to see them back, and we do like to have a bit of a laugh. The Clayton and Mandy do have the memories of a goldfish, but they've certainly sorted it out. There is no doubt about that. So the old goldfish joke, we'll leave that one alone. Well, for mostly throughout the course of commentary today. That's not a bad lap there for Clayton with a 49.850. He goes straight to the top of the table in front of Uncle Tony by some 5 seconds. So Clayton and Mandy will be very happy with that. The Eagle Automotive Machine with Neil Marshall coming out onto track at the moment. It is Jay Hayden doing the navigational duties here. So Jay Hayden from Tiawama Mutu, TA, we'll just call it TA, the registered nurse. Normally in alongside her husband Paddy. Paddy decided after last season he wasn't going to be driving in the Group B anymore, sold the boat, sold the package. So Neil Marshall, the industrial coatings contractor and the man behind Stinger Race Boats, said to Jay, would you like to come navigating? Jay said absolutely, and then Jay's husband Paddy went out and bought a brand new super boat. So here we have husband and wife competing in different categories in different boats. So always interesting to see how that unfolds. So the Eagle Automotive of Neil Marshall certainly pretty good on the rally circuit and has transitioned pretty well into jet sprinting. So Neil Marshall, Eagle Automotive out on track. Jay, you can see the navigational hand speaking Neil on track. This is going to be a pretty good time. Neil Marshall across the line and into P2 with a 50.364.
I didn't see it.
It'll be Sean Rice and Faye Rice coming out for their qualifying 2 in the Group A category. The Cosa Nostra 57 from New Plymouth. Elite Kitchens on board here, and Sean Rice taking his first win in jet sprinting at Wanganui a month and a half ago, which opened up the Mouthfresh New Zealand Jet Sprint Championship. So Sean and Faye Rice really very great competitors and taking their first win. Of course, Sean Rice coming from a sprint car background, decided that 4 wheels were no longer too much fun, decided to get into jet sprinting, and has really taken to this sport like a duck to water. course, competed at the World Series in Australia, seems only yesterday, and had a very, very good run of the second round. The first round at Keith, and not so good, but they really got this package well together. Brand new package for the Worlds. Sean Rice in the Group A. Absolutely red hot on track at the moment. And across the line there in a 50.577. So into P3 for qualifying round number 2. You can see some of the unlimited boats down on the water. It is going to be Simon Gibbon now coming out onto the track in the Novus class. The Novus, show us your crack. Donna Thompson, the registered nurse from Wanganui, doing the navigational duties in this boat. Supported by Scott Construction, Woodbank Park Cottages,